Alright, so for the first fighting guide, we should probably take a look at the granddaddy of fighting games, and that will of course be Street Fighter. We're going to focus on hyper fighting since it's, the most basic Street Fighter to learn. Now this game has a character roster, which most fighting games do now. Pretty much every fighting game. Back then this was revolutionary. So of course we're going to pick Ryu, since he's probably much the best character to start with for beginners. Ken is very good too, or if you want a little... or Chun-Li.
Round 1, fight!
Alright, so this game mainly has 6 buttons that you need to really learn. Light punch, medium punch, heavy punch, light kick, medium kick, heavy kick. And keep in mind I'm doing the Xbox One version, so in the description below I will have time codes. But for now I'm just going to refer to them as light punch, medium punch, heavy punch, and light kick, medium kick, and heavy kick. So, what can you do with these buttons? Well, like so you can do them on the ground or in the air. So of course you got your punches. But listen to those sound effects. Just listen. Okay, you got that. You got that. Yeah, that is great. Now, of course, and this is the granddaddy of fighting games, it's gotta have the most granddaddy mechanic. Special moves. So, of course, everyone knows from fighting games we use classic Hadouken, circle forward punch. Very useful. And I would say Ryu is a balanced character. He's very easy to pick up and play. And depending on which button you press for the Hadouken, it will travel faster. For example, this is a light Hadouken, and this is a heavy Hadouken. You see how that was fast? Oh, and also if you hit your opponent enough, they get dizzy, allowing you to just get more damage. This game doesn't really have combos, but you can do some things, like that. Next up, we got, of course, Ryu's Tatsumaki Senpokaku. Please tell me I pronounced that correctly. Of course, circle back kick. And of course, you have all the different versions, and of course, the final one lasts longer, allowing the opponent to get hit easier. Finally, of course, you have the infamous Shoryuken. Similar to the Tatsumaki, in the way it works, with the light version being very, very short, the medium version being pretty high, and the heavy version being very damaging, but it's very easy to get hit. For example, if you do a Shoryuken, then you can easily block. But if you do a heavy Shoryuken, it gets a lot harder to block. So, speaking of blocking, it's very simple. You just hold back to block. And you can also crouch block, which is very useful for some attacks. And of course, while you're crouching, you can also perform your other attacks. This is where the sweeps come in. If you want to really mess with your opponent, you just keep sweeping them. But you also may realize that in order for it to not be cheap, you notice how Ryu goes a bit back every time he does a sweep? That's to make the game fair. And then there's throws. Basically, you hold forward or back with heavy punch near an opponent, and you throw them for a considerable amount of damage. Now, let's go through some situations where you want to use these different moves. Alright, so right now we are in the options menu, and I want you to look at my options, as this is what fighting game rookies should probably have when they're in a training mode. And overall, I just want to say this, go into a training mode, don't go straight into versus mode or online matches, because you won't really know what you're doing. So you need to practice, go to tutorial modes, whatever you have to do. So first up, for your gauge settings, this goes for all fighting games. Always put your health, both yours and mainly the opponent's, on auto recover. At least what it's called in this game, or usually sometimes it's called refill. It basically allows it so that you can show what damage you're doing, but the health will always jump back up after a combo. So you keep seeing what it will do, which is very useful. I also recommend putting damage display. This shows exactly how much damage you're doing, so you can really see how much you're really doing to the opponent. And if you want, you can put input display. This basically just shows you what buttons you're pressing. Personally, I don't really use it, but hey, it's for you. Now, this is the main thing. The dummy mode, very important. I put it on record. What record means is that I can play back, like record a section that the AI or the opponent will do, and then I can replay it so that my character, in this case Ryu, can react to whatever the opponent's doing, which in this case is Chun-Li. So right now we're actually going to show you what that looks like in action. As you can see, we are back, we are on record. And now we are controlling Chun-Li. We're going to make her attack Ryu. And then we're going to go back into training options and we're going to click replay. Now it's going to show all the different actions that I made her do. You can see she's kicking Ryu. And she's just going to keep repeating those actions as long as I click the play button. So overall, pretty useful. And as you can see, we also now have our damage counter. This shows us how much damage we're exactly doing. You can see it right there, damage and stun damage. And as you can see, also, as we're hitting Chun-Li, the health bar is decreasing. Let's say we stop doing something, health bar goes back up. Honestly, this is a very useful feature I think every beginner should use. Alright, now we're at the final part of the first episode of Fighting Guide, and this is where we get to show off combos. So I'm going to show you right now some basic combos for Ryu or Ryu. I'm just going to say Ryu because it's very easier. Let's do this. First up, we have what I like to call the heavy Hadouken combo. It is performed by doing a jumping heavy punch with a standing heavy punch followed by a heavy Hadouken. It should look something like this. Alright, so it should look like that. As you can see, the opponent got dizzy afterwards. This takes a little bit sometimes because you gotta really get the Hadouken motion. That's an easy way to finish the opponent off. Alright, the next combo we're going to show you is what I like to call the heavy kick Tatsumaki combo. It's a very similar, but it's only 2 hits. You do in the air, heavy kick, followed by a heavy Tatsumaki. Something like this. As you can see, did pretty good damage. The final combo we're going to show you is, of course, a Shoryuken combo. And it's very similar to the Hadouken combo. It starts the same, but you want to go, instead of a Hadouken at the end, of course, you want to form a Shoryuken. Something like this. And that's the combo. As you see, it did pretty good damage overall for 2 hits. And of course, you can really experiment with Ryu. But to end this off, we're going to show you one more combo just for fun. And this is going to be known as a very easy combo that you can do in most fighting games, mainly Street Fighter games. And is known as the air to sweep. You do heavy kick in the air, and then you follow it by a crouching heavy kick. It does so much damage in this game, and it's great because it's very difficult for the opponent to block this move. So overall, just keep doing this. Very useful. And that concludes the first episode of Fighting Guide. Thank you guys for watching. And if you have a fighting game that you want me to cover on this new show, please put it down in the comments. I'd really be happy to take a look at it. Until next time, this is Ozone. See you guys later.